This segment is sponsored by RVA Wealth Management.
The presidential election is weeks away, and you might be wondering how it could impact the financial market. Here to talk about what it means for you is David Corrin of RVA Wealth Management. Good morning, David. Welcome to Virginia This Morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
We are doing great. Well, I guess the answer is the election will impact us, but how and how much and which way, those are the questions we're going to have for you this morning.
Well, generally, election years are pretty favorable for the market. At least that's historically, if you look back, you can see that. However, this year is the first election that we've had during a pandemic. And that is going to set things up for a very unusual process, given the large number of mail-in ballots that we're going to see, and really just a real slow process at the polls. And as a result, we may not know the result of the election for many days, and that in and of itself could be a little bit problematic. But honestly, as far as elections are concerned, the market tends to like divided government because there are fewer changes. So if that is the result of this election process, then it's our opinion that the market will probably continue to respond to the very favorable Fed pressure that we've got pushing it up. So that is the liquidity, the low interest rates, the buying of bonds in the market, et cetera. So our expectation is that if we still have divided government after this election, then it'll continue to go up. If one party sweeps, that could be somewhat problematic because we would be looking then at potentially a lot of changes. So let's say the Democrats were to sweep. If that were to occur, which seems to be the greater possibility than the reverse, their tax policies could have an impact on the market and could be somewhat unfavorable. But again, there's always ways to invest no matter what party is in control. So from our perspective, we will adjust based on who we see and buy the sectors that we think make the most sense going forward if there is a sweep. But I think more than likely we'll still end up with divided government, in which case not a lot of changes, maybe tweaks around the edge, but we'll go forward.
So those first couple of days, David, those first couple of days when we're kind of watching and we're used to finding out election night, we kind of know that's going to be a little bumpy there, but then it should balance out a little bit. What actions, if any, should be taken to take a look at people's portfolio right now in the next week or two? Well,
from our perspective, it's very important. We always recommend that clients maintain their portfolios based on their own personal situation and their needs, their cash flow needs in particular, if they have those, and their own risk tolerance. If you're years away from retiring and you are pretty aggressive, growth-minded, stay in that position. There's no reason to change that because you've got years to recover. The market will come back up even if it does go down. So from our perspective, make sure you've got the cash on hand that you need to meet your cash needs, but stay in the model that fits your risk tolerance and those needs. There's no reason to really change it in a big way due to external events.
All right, got about a minute left. COVID-19 is a threat to my investments and the market. Is it or is it not? And which ones how do we know?
Well, obviously, COVID-19 had a massive impact with a 34% pullback earlier this year. So we really had a big impact. We've not seen this type of GDP downturn in history. But honestly, I think for the most part, in our opinion, the impact of COVID-19 is for the most part behind us. We don't see, given the vaccines that are coming, the improvement in treatments, the reduced number of deaths that we're seeing across the country due to COVID-19, we really think that the impact on the market has run its course. I'm not saying that the impact of COVID is gone. I just think that the major impact on the market is behind us now.
All right, David. First time on Virginia This Morning. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to a lot more information from you in the coming weeks and months. To get in touch with RVA Wealth Management, visit their website, rvawealthmanagement.com, or give them a call, 804-497-2100. And stay with us. Virginia This Morning returns after a quick break.